just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Packer Up, Boys, brought to you by Lontel, the best internet in all the land, and it's a brand new promo. It's one of the great promos all time. Go to your portal. If you've got an account, go to your portal. You can create your own code. If you get your mates to sign up with your code, and remember, it's free to sign up, no contracts, no credit card, you get $50 cash. $50 cash. So you go to your own portal, you create your own code, let your mates know, use this code to sign up, and they get the promos, everything like that. You get $50 cash. Best promo ever. Lontel is doing it for the bloke community. So get around it. You guys know how much. I mean, speaking of fast internet, one of the great time, like one of the most anticipated, strangely anticipated video games all time coming out soon called Crimson Desert. And my nerds will know what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's real, but if any of it's real, like it's going to be one of the great games all time, just quietly. So shout out Lontel. I'll be downloading that in about 30 seconds. Thanks to Lontel. Go to your portal, go to your account, create your code. Give it to your friends, whoever. Anyone can use it. Every time it's used, you get $50 cash. Boom. There you go. Tommy Bomb, he's here. What's going on, brother?
Not much, mate. Absolutely exhausted. Massive week in rugby league football. So just been trying to just keep up each day. New things coming in. Obviously, footy back last night. So, yeah, frothing.
Now, when I was speaking about video games, did I sound like I was speaking a different language to you just then?
Look, I've dabbled here and there.
Yeah.
I can still rattle off the GTA cheat codes to you.
Mainstream. Okay, give me a GTA cheat code.
If you were going to spawn a helicopter, it would be circle, circle, L1, triple circle, R1, R2, L2, L1, circle, triangle, circle. You can verify that at home.
Holy shit.
That is awesome.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there you go. How's that for your Friday? So, yeah,
wow, that's a real X's and O's guy.
Yeah, so that's GTA, though, which I feel like it's not as neckbeardy as, like, what did you say before? Crimson
Desert.
Don't know that one.
Yep.
But yeah, I've played a bit of Fortnite in my time, and
You're a Fortnite man.
I've got a very, very, very small range when it comes to gaming.
Do you remember any other code from GTA other than the one you just did?
Yeah, there is. I could spawn you a motorbike.
Okay,
I could spawn you the weapons. Like articulating might be a challenge. Like if you want more weapons, like with the RPG and that, I think it's like triangle R2, L1, circle, triangle, circle. It finishes with a double L1. I could do it. Like if I had a PS5 remote in front of me, I could do it.
GTA fan.
Which GTA is this?
Five?
Five.
Yeah.
Are you red hot on GTA 6 coming out this year?
I hope so. I've been hanging out for it since I was about 3. So looking forward.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to play San Andreas, and like I used to have I'm sure everyone did, but I used to just have a sheet of paper just with every single cheat code on it. Just play. I remember playing through the whole game with cheats, and then I just wanted to do the whole thing without cheats as well.
I'll be honest, boys. Never used a cheat code in my life because that's not how I do things.
Just honestly,
I get the W honestly.
Yeah, I used to have like a couple of mates who wanted to like be like that, and they'd like, oh, let's do the missions. We'll like do a mission each. It's like, no, mate, I want to get an RPG and I want to go and see what happens. So we went friends.
I guess a different approach. I'm all about honesty, integrity, getting the job done, but doing it in a proper way.
Yeah, that sort of that Queensland spirit.
Yeah.
In a gaming sense.
You know what? I reckon if you did a study, a lot more New South Welshmen use the cheat codes in GTA than Queenslanders.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
And that in turn is the reason why you guys aren't good at Origin.
No cheat codes in Origin, Kevy.
No, there's no corners cut in Origin, mate.
You have to do the full mission.
It's a cauldron, mate.
Oh, well.
Some people get lost in it. Some people thrive. Some people bubble up to the top.
I want to spawn a helicopter right now. I feel like the dragon.
Having 12 rep players in the 2000s, that wasn't a cheat code.
We developed them though.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're allowed to use what you create. It's almost like you have a character, and then you getting upset because I made that character level 50, full kitted out, plus 100 everything, and then you're upset at me that I use it. It's called we raised them, we reared them, especially Greg Inglis. I mean, a lot of people think he was born in New South Wales. That's a myth. So that's what we do in Queensland. We raise them, we develop them, we put them in there, they get the job done. No cheat codes allowed.
I
reckon he'd get dropped. If Billy Slater found out one of the boys was playing PlayStation, the night before or even during the week, and he found out there was a cheat code used in one of those games, I reckon he'd get dropped.
Yeah, I think so. Billy doesn't strike me as a massive Assassin's Creed or GTA guy. I think he's got better things to do.
Mate, he can ride a horse, eh? I
was about to say,
absolutely.
Yeah. And he loves bananas. Is that right? Is that him? He's got something to do with bananas?
Yes.
Yeah,
Banana representative. Remember the horse game at Time Zone where you'd be like...
Vaguely.
Do you remember it?
Not really.
There used to be a horse game in Time Zone or whatever you want to call it, time out, whatever. And you'd race each other.
I could just see you like this like last week just on your own, just going nuts.
Go to fucking Broncos.
Trying to beat your own score. Like when you punch just to sort of
and top score
assert your dominance.
Make sure you keep the most important thing that was a top score.
Yeah, when you break the record.
Yep.
Like, I can just see you trying to break your own record on the horse game as well.
Mate, it's all about the fast twitch. All about the fast twitch, mate. And I remember I went over to Perth for a trial match in 2012 for the Dragons. Me and Sowie got on there, had a bit of a race.
One of the greats.
Great Jamie Sowie. He was wearing his headgear too. Why does Sowie get so many mentions in the podcast?
Because Sowie's a dear friend these days. Sowie told me on the morning of the Super Bowl, I said to him, because I watch NFL, but I don't know NFL. I said, look, how's this game going? He said, I think Seattle's defense is too good. Like I remember in 2010, we knew if we scored 12 points, we win the game.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, and he said, that's pretty powerful. Like that's a powerful position to be in. I was like, fuck, that's so cool that like, you're bringing it back to 2010.
Look, but also like full respect and like incredible they won a premiership. But that makes me feel sick thinking that there's a team out there about to win a comp that goes, yeah, we just have to score 12 points.
That's what I mean though. Like to actually look around a room as a footy side and be like, we know that. Like if
as a fan watching the game though, I want like I've gotten so used to like more points now. Whereas remember that the period where you literally you win 12-6 in a game or whatever. And don't get me wrong, there's still a place in the game for that, all that good stuff. But I've gotten so used to this like crazy entertaining footy. You're just like, wow.
Yeah, and I think we spoke about that last week. But the casual fan, they do want to see more points. They want to see more missed tackles. And
imagine the casual fan today watching 2010 era rugby league with the wrestle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I went back and watched a 2014 Origin game a few weeks ago, and it's a different sport almost.
Yeah. No 6 again. Jeez.
Even that try.
You know
the try Hodko scored in game 2?
Game 2, 2012.
One show and
2014.
go. That was the only try of the game. Like, as a rugby league nerd, you watch it and you go, that's just like the best thing ever. And when the stakes are high like that, you can still get around it. But like if you were a casual fan, round 11, Thursday night, that shit's happening. You're like,
rugby league nerd. Like, I mean, I'm absolutely a rugby league nerd, but the wider audience, I just don't know if they'd stomach that these days.
Nah, I agree.
I prefer today's game, but I do I feel something when I do watch those old games.
Yeah. I mean, it's just progress, natural progress. But the great Sowie, like, their defense was so hectic back then, and his kicking game was fucking unbelievable.
Their defense is better than any Penrith team in the dominance.
Yeah.
Like statistically, like points per game, I think it was 12. And I think the best Panthers team, I'll have to check this exactly, but I think the best Panthers team is 14, which is still incredible. But to be a better defensive team than the current Penrith team in any year is crazy.
It's actually insane.
But I like watching the Super Bowl because I was chatting to him in the morning and I just said to him, what do you reckon? Because he was doing some stuff for it. He's like a big NFL guy. And then watching the game, because after he sort of gave his prediction, I was like, I want to see how this plays out. And he was spot on. It was like such a defensive game and they just didn't give anything. And then they ran away with it late. They forced a few errors, scored off a pick 6, like defense into attack sort of stuff. So he was seeing it well on Monday, Sowie. Really well.
You know what they say? Defense wins premierships, mate.
As we saw.
Didn't last year though.
Except for when you've got a guy named Reece Walsh on your side that fucking does some crazy shit.
Yeah, there's a certain level of hotness though that I think sort of supersedes the need for defensive tenacity.
Yeah, hotness does seem to like wobble the world a little bit, you know? Kind of put people in areas they shouldn't really be in.
That's why he's such a one of one, isn't he? Like even the way he just sort of just up the guts against Melbourne in the GF,
bruh,
straight up the middle,
that like try. That. You know what? It probably gotten lost in the noise, but I remember a few years ago when Cody Walker scored his try against the Panthers, and it just gets forgotten in the noise. Oh. Fucking unbelievable try. That try from Reece Walsh, like it's one of the I won't say the greatest because I'm not thinking I've got to sit down and think about it, but in recent memory, I'm trying to think of a better individual try, in grand final.
But to do it straight at the middle too, like they were almost identical tries in terms of watching them. Cody, I remember him shrugging off Cleary and like going through, but like Walsh went through their whole middle.
It's crazy. And he
grand final.
Switch sides, comes around, pretty much bumps 3 people, like fends Puppy in the chest, pulls through, steps of it, like just craziness, absolute craziness. What about the expectation on Walsh heading into this year? Just it's like,
no
unless
pressure,
he has 3 tries just a game, it's going to be like, nah, terrible game.
Do you think that he goes backwards, or do you think that'll just be the noise? If let's say if he doesn't come out, and it'd be unreasonable to expect him to just peak how he did at the back end.
I think you'll find he'll be really solid initially. Like I think Madge will be asking him, mate, let's get a baseline. First 10 weeks, that's maybe a little bit long, but like first 5 weeks, just give me a baseline. Do all the little things right. We don't need to go crazy. Let's build into that towards the back end of the year.
Yeah, because I think like the other thing that he really worked on last year that gets a little bit underappreciated is defensively how sound he is versus years gone by. And
Oh, man, sometimes the years gone by, like, holy shit. He'd be like walking when a grubber went through, and you'd be like...
Yeah. But the thing that's phenomenal to me is to actually tighten that up, that side of the ball, to actually be quite impressive on that side of the ball now, and amplify all the good stuff that he's always sort of been known for, those highlights and less errors. But even like...
Mate, his defence literally won the comp on Pappy.
Yeah.
And that was one of the try savers he did that game. Obviously, he got Kamikamitha as well.
Yeah, wow.
You know, the game was... Because I've seen... Like, do I watch, Reece Walsh finals run on YouTube every single afternoon? I do. So I remember it all very, very clearly. I think you know how good he played until you go back and watch it and you just go, what the fuck happened last final series? Like, insane.
And those 2 tries you're talking about that he saved, like, they're not plays that you're meant to save. Like, you're talking about a front row putting the ball over the try line and then a 2-on-1.
Where it was the wrong call. Like, you always told take the man with the ball.
Yeah.
But he's working at such a level where he's like, nah, I'm going for the big play here.
Yeah, did the balk and then bang.
The good old-fashioned balk.
Like your mate Hodjo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the brother Hodgie. Alrighty, boys. Don't forget, Bloke Sale. Everything right now is 50 to 60% off. It's still going. Get it before everything is gone because it's going quick. And also, last chance to get the Disappointment Blend Grumpy Coffee. Very few left. Valentine's Day. A bit of a late Valentine's Day present. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really need to be for Valentine's Day. Go on grumpycoffee.com.au. Alrighty, the Gold Coast Titans beat the Dolphins 24-12 in preseason clash. I'm going to be honest. Obviously, the Titans have beaten better sides and all that kind of stuff. But this might be the most... the best they've played is probably too strong of a word, but like this is the most I've looked at the Titans in many years and said you've got just a really good foundation of a game that's going to win you most likely. The system has the ability to win a lot of club games. I thought they were so good last night, really fast through the ruck, didn't get caught up in trying to alpha every single contact. They were getting down on their knees, up quickly, quick play the balls, fast leg speed. Relatively simple game plan, very fit as well. Like, I can't remember I've ever seen a Gold Coast Titans team play like this. Like again, I know it's a trial and it was against... The Dolphins were actually much stronger on paper. And so I'm not sitting here going, definitely lock them in. They're going to be outstanding. I'm just saying the style of rugby league they played, I can't, at least in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe longer, I can't remember a Gold Coast Titans playing this style of rugby league. They actually remind me a lot of the way Queensland play. And obviously that makes sense, Hannay being around the Queensland system so much. But, like, if anything, if there was a little knock on the... because I also thought the Dolphins were good, but if there was any little knock, I thought sometimes they were too keen to get into the contact. And what I mean by that is like, they were almost too aggressive. You go back to... I mean, you'd know as well, mate, like, when you're a coach, sometimes you're telling your players, listen, I don't need you shooting up, trying to shot someone I need you to... get the contact, win the wrestle, get them on their back, slow the play the ball down. That's the main focus. But sometimes I felt the Dolphins were too keen to try and physically dominate. Whereas I felt like the Titans, they just did everything. They were so calm under pressure, so collected, so fit. I can't remember a time where I've seen a Gold Coast Titans team play like that, especially when it's a reserve grade. You could even argue less than reserve grade side playing a relatively mostly first grade side in the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think you could see that a few times, especially out of the back end, a couple of times off like kicks on last where Dolphins kicked downfield and they didn't stick the contact on the wingers. And like, Asako, he had a few, sorry, not Asako, like the wingers at the back for the Titans, they had a few good kick returns where Dolphins weren't sticking that contact.
So the number 2, I'll get his name up now. Yeah. I know he had an arrow, a silly offload there at one stage, but he is strong in contact. Holy shit.
That's what I mean.
Like Toto.
And he shrugged him off a couple of times coming back. But then also, I think, you said before, prefacing trials, there are a few things that you can get out of trials, though, regardless of who's on the field. I thought they looked a lot more desperate in defence. They came up with some really important scrambles, like that try De Groot saved at one point. And there was a few others around the middle too early. They stopped Morgan as well, when he probably scores that last year against... And
they stopped Flegler initially as well. They nearly stopped Moe Fodawaker. No, sorry, that was the other way around. They nearly stopped Flegler. They stopped Flegler the first time and nearly scored.
Yeah, and I think, there was a lot to like about the fact that they were more desperate. They looked fitter, like you said. Cleese Haas, he looked the fittest I've seen him. Not that he wasn't fit, but he looked super, super cut.
They just moved well across the park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was so much more speed about everything they did.
And even like, little things like that first try that Ilias scored, he was definitely bouncing around with more energy, and he actually got shotted, ended up on the deck, got straight up and made himself relevant in the play again, and obviously scored the try. So I think if you're a fan watching it and you think you've still got a few guys to drop back in there, or a fair few guys to drop back in, you'd like what you're seeing, even from some of those depth guys. That number 23, his name was Phoenix Steinweed.
Yep.
I believe he's a relative or a stepson or something of Kieran Foran.
Okay.
And he was a flag captain at the Chooks a couple of years ago. He was that big back roller that came on towards the back end, scored that try in the corner, and he had a hand in that try with the offload. He looked really good too. So even a couple of guys that probably won't necessarily be in the 17 week in, week out, but you're seeing probably the future or coming through. Like, yeah, you'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's the type of footy they played. Like I'm trying to think of the last time I saw a Titans team and be like, wow, that's a really cohesive type of rugby league that's being played. Like when you watch the Titans before, it's kind of like, it's just attack, a little bit willy-nilly at times. So, man, I just think the Titans, it's the first trial. It could mean absolutely nothing and they could still finish low on the table. However, if you're a Titans fan, I don't think you could ask for much more from that reserve grade, like essentially a reserve grade side. I seriously don't think you could ask for much more.
No, I agree. Do you think watching the group play yesterday, I thought he was actually really good. Now, obviously, he's not going to be at the back for him, by all reports, but do you reckon, is there any spot for him there, potentially?
Yeah, it's a tough one because he was on the wing a little bit last year, and I don't know if he didn't play that well. It seems like a great young lad and plenty of talent, because I'm with you. I thought he was good, especially late in the game where he shrugged off one of the defenders, maybe Katoa, and kind of made a half break. It's an interesting one because you just don't see him getting a start over Kinney.
No.
And as a winger, is he so good you have to put him on the wing? I'm not sure.
Well, they moved him into the centres or on the left wing. It was either left centre or left wing towards the last 10, 15. And I was sort of thinking, is that just because it's trials and they were giving other guys a run and he was filling a spot, or were they sussing him for one of those other positions in the outside backs? I don't know. But yeah, I thought he was actually really good.
I think he's like a good fullback.
Yeah.
He's one of those players where at the moment it's hard to see him in NRL at least playing like wing or centre. But if it was to be first grade, it'd probably be fullback. But obviously it's hard to beat Kinney. But I'm with you because I'll be honest. I thought, I watched him last year. Yeah, okay, he's a solid player, but probably going to be in the fringes of NRL for a bit. I mean, he couldn't have done much more last night. He was pretty good. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think of the game last night, mate?
Yeah, just on that, like there is a winger spot up for grabs, but I think you might have mentioned before, I liked their winger. Was it the number 2?
Number 2, yeah, he threw a silly offload once, but even the other guy, Tomapaya, but it was Selatelli Famani.
Yes.
Famani. He was damaging as when he won the ball.
And Jojo Fafita will probably get the other wing, so I don't know. I reckon he might get a spot. I'm with you. I don't like De Groot's a good player, but I'm not sure if I rated on the wing that much. Yeah. I'm at risk of repeating what you said, but like I didn't feel like I was watching the Titans.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching a different team, and it's always so interesting when a new coach comes in. Kind of like how Andrew Webster changed the Warriors. Like, if anyone sits here and still thinks the Warriors play that crazy attacking footy that they used to, you're just playing wrong. They're a completely different team, and I don't know. Just because Hane's kind of bided his time as assistant coach of so many other clubs, he's been in Queensland, I think everyone's kind of got good vibes from him. And then watching the game last night, just the way they played, I know, like, they got into their attacking zone. They were a bit scrappy at times, but I don't know. I enjoyed. I felt safe the way they were playing. Even when the Dolphins went up in the second half, I was like, I think the Titans are going to win this.
They handled the pressure really well. Like Titans of old, they would just go to war to them, but they withstood the pressure, turned things around, ended up winning the game. And yep, it's a trial for sure. So like, don't necessarily focus on the result. More just like focus on what style of footy they played. Like honestly, I think you'd be surprised the amount of teams that you watch trials, and at the end of it, if you go, okay, what style of footy do they play? Like, what's their brand of footy? You'd be like, I don't really know. Like, there's like, honestly, half the NRL is like that. Like, what style do they play? Whereas the Titans, what's so interesting is like, you could see this like fast, fit, scramble, relatively simple attack. Apparently, speaking of Matty Johns, Matty, my mate.
Matty,
He was saying that Josh Hannay spent most of the preseason doing essentially no good ball work. It was all in between a 20 to 20, just getting them fit and just rock hard as anything.
That makes so much. Sorry to interrupt, but that makes so much sense because one of my negatives yesterday was I thought when they're on the attack they were scrappy. I really was like, oh, this is a bit.
Think about how brilliant this is from Hannah. Why spend half a preseason when you've got Campbell, Kinney, and Brimson in your spine? Like, they can attack. They will find their rhythm at some stage through the season. But I tell you what, they're probably not that good at is the 20 to 20 period where it's like guiding the team around, putting them certain structures in place. Like, I don't know. I getting real good vibes. And look, I know I've been here before. I know I've had my heart broken by the Titans many a time. I thought they looked fucking good.
This feels different.
Like, and I know they didn't. I know he didn't set the world alight, but like Zane Harrison as a young half, 18 years old, like I just thought he was calm, collected. Again, I know their good ball wasn't great, but I just love the fact that they just looked structured. They didn't look like they were all over the shop throwing fucking balls willy-nilly. Like
that's an interesting point you make there too about the 20 to 20 because I think, and obviously a trial, more fatigue, you're going to see more of it, and with like lesser guys out there, but a lot of offloads. Last night, and those guys you mentioned before, especially Brimson and Campbell, Keeney. If you're getting good yardage and you're getting quick play of the balls and you are getting offloads, that's where they're going to absolutely explode. So I think you will see a lot of tries. If the Titans are on this year, you will see them score more tries from outside of good ball anyway, if they're nailing that. So that makes a lot of sense.
And I just trust, like, you could have Campbell do no structured play for fucking a whole year. He could come back, he'll rip you apart on, if you put him inside the 20, him, Brimo, or Kinney will rip you apart.
Yeah. Also, that is it Alan Fitzgibbon?
Yeah.
Yeah, big boy on the wing.
Holy shit. He is the scariest human being I've ever seen in my life.
Big boy.
What's his go? Like, is he...
Well, so he made his debut, I think, last year. He's a little bit older. He's been killing Q-Cup for quite a while.
Literally killing Q-Cup.
Now, interested, though, that he was 26. Now, that could mean two things. That he's fallen down the pecking order, or he's higher in the pecking order and they were just giving him a bit of game time for next week.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's at 26. I would think pecking order wise he would have started this game because he's still one step below Jojo Fafita. I mean, there is a wing spot open, so it would probably have to be him if it's a positive that he is 26, number 26, that would suggest to me that he's currently leading for that wing spot that's not taken.
Right.
If it's a negative, it would mean that he's fallen down the pecking order in regards to, who's the next winger up.
I don't know if it's his reads or something because you look at him physically and I've never seen anything like
He's
it on a winger.
massive, fast as anything too.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least if I recall, I think he had an error or two in him last year. But anyway, Lockie Ilias, mate, you're solid.
I thought he was busy.
Yeah,
he looked good.
Yeah.
I don't think you can ask much more from him in a new team, trying to get things, get the cobwebs out. I've got to say, we spoke about it in our season preview, but Fodawaker looked the best I've seen him in a very long time. And we spoke about in the season preview how, for me personally, in regards to a front rower that's getting paid good coin, it's a make or break season for Fodawaker. Granted, regardless of how he plays this year, he'll be able to get an okay contract anywhere in the competition because his origin, he's solid. But if he wants to be like 600, 700, 800K a year, he needs to have a big year this year, especially with Jolliffe out. And I thought he was outstanding. I thought, I think he had like a moment here or there that, he'd like back. But outside of that, I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I think they mentioned in commentary last night that he's been around for, it's his 9th season or something they said. Which is
he played for Queensland in the 2021 series. That's 5 years ago. And he was outstanding. Queensland got pummeled that series.
Yep.
But he was outstanding. But since then he's kind of been good, kind of not so much. This is as Denon just said, this is his year, especially with all the new shit going on at the Titans, like with just the vibes with Matty and Gordy taking over, the new coach, the new era. He's got to step up. And he did last night.
Yeah, and obviously Jolliffe's out for the year, but you're going to have Cooper by putting pressure on some kind of rotation there. I thought another guy who was friggin' outstanding, Simpkins, Tuka Mihia Simpkins. Especially in attack, 14 runs, 148 metres, 70 post contact, 2 tackle breaks, 29 tackles, only 1 miss. I think he came on the edge, if I recall correctly.
The 17, right?
Number 17.
Yeah,
was it on the edge?
I think he came on the edge, yeah.
So hard with these trials with so many numbers. You just kind of get lost a little bit in it all. But yeah, I thought he was great. Curtis Moran, I thought, came on and did a job as well. Sometimes Summerton, you could say overplayed his hand here or there, but outside of that, I thought Luke Summerton, the number 9, was also great. So There's a lot to like. There's a lot to like in the Titans side. Now, this is, outside of Fodawaker, this is a full-on reserve grade side. Whereas you go to Dolphins.
Oh, and Cooper Bye.
But like even, he's only played 2 NRL games.
True.
Right now, he's still a reserve grade. Then you go to the Dolphins. We're talking Jake Averillo started all last year, an established player who had a barrier, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Asako, Selwyn Cobbo, Nafahu, I'd assume it will probably be pushing for a spot, but played first grade last year. Obviously, Isaiah Katoa, Francis Molo, Tom Gilbert, Lemuelu, Orion Keeley, Morgan Knowles, Kafusi, Thomas Flegler.
Yeah, it's night and day.
It's literally a reserve grade side versus a first grade side, essentially.
Yeah, I think you could tell too with Katoa. Like, he obviously didn't play heaps, but you could see how much time he's going to free up guys outside. It was so fast.
He's my Dalian pick of the year.
Yeah, I reckon. Honestly, I was sitting there last night, and I know this is like really like dribbly, like carry away, like exaggerating. But I was sitting there, I was like, "Fuck!" Like, if he's playing how I think he's going to play, how long's he got to wait to get his crack in Origin if he's playing like this?
Look, I know you and your South Welshman, for some bizarre reason, are so loyal to everyone in the side. I think it's an open slather.
Like, he was so just silky last night in the way, and I was sitting there and I was thinking, because first look at Cobbo at centre for them too. Obviously, at some point you're going to have Herbie there on the other side too. And Hammer, like, I think he's just going to be able to create so many different looks for them just with how square he was playing.
That pass that he threw where Selwyn Cobbo tapped it on was fucking out. Like, Isaiah Katoa was getting to the point where he's so good at seeing out of the corner of his eye what the defence is, whether they're jamming or not. I thought that was, so before that pass he did to Selwyn Cobbo, there was another one where it looked for all money that he was already committed to the pass and the player was about to get jammed. And he somehow held it. He somehow held the pass because he knew, my outside man's getting jammed here. And the one with Selwyn Cobbo, he was supposed to hit the shorter guy, but realised that guy was getting jammed. Goes over the top of his head to Selwyn Cobbo. They tip it on. He ended up knocking it on Nafahu to score the try. But like, bro, I'm trying to think the last time I saw a guy as young as him look as good with the ball, like holding defenders up. I can't remember it. I seriously cannot remember it.
Yeah, there was also, the one where they got the ball over the line, they grounded it, but it touched someone's hand, and they said it was a knock on.
Yeah.
He broke him down in like 3 plays. They had this massive long shift set up, and he just went front door, and then threw it long and touched the guy's hand.
What is he, 22 now?
He's 22 next week.
Oh my God.
Like when you think about it, just purely, I guess, statistically or whatever, there's a world where you could argue the Dolphins have the best forward pack in the comp. Like, I don't have them there yet, but if you said that as your opinion, I'd go, that's a reasonable take that they've got the best forward pack in the comp because of the depth they've got and everything like that. But at the very least, he's got a top 5 forward pack at the very least. And there's an argument to be made that they have the best backline in the competition. So you've got a gun 7 going into a season if they all stay fit with, on paper, enough weapons to be a top 4 side. That's what's going to be scary.
Yeah, I just don't remember watching him in that first half, every time they were attacking, just being so excited to watch a guy with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Like, I think even sometimes with Cleary, as great as he is, you still feel like you're watching what's going to happen here with the play. Whereas it's like watching Joey highlights where you're just like, you're glued on what's he doing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I'd be like Cleary is very much what is the structure that is being set up here?
Yeah, and how's it going to unfold versus you just sort of like...
Where's the ball going with Katoa sometimes? Is he going short, going long? Is he stepping back inside? Just, mate, he's such a pleasure to watch. We've got to talk about it, but the great Tommy Flegler.
So good.
I just want to stress this to people. I cannot stress enough, the bloke has been out for 2 years. Do you know how hard it is to come back in your first game and already look a level above than everyone on the field?
That's exactly what I was
thinking. Do you know
thinking.
how hard that is? Some of the greatest players that have ever played the game take longer than a game. He came back with his first run, hit and spin, offload, get a line break, get a penalty.
Didn't miss a beat. And then also, so good to see him score the try. But if you actually watch the playback, and he sort of overruns it initially, and then like they were that confident, like he'd already shown with a few touches how in front he was, how above it he was, and they were just like, we'll just hit him anyway. Like it was still just, as long as he catches it, he scores here, and he did. And I just think, after 2 years out, especially as a middle, and he's not like a small, mobile, super fit middle. Like, he's a big body. So to come back after such a long layoff and just look so silky was just
shows how strong he is. Like, he was flat-footed when he caught that ball because he overstepped.
Yeah,
and he just muscled his way through.
And he
His
nearly
first game
scored
back.
like a couple of plays before that. I cannot. How many times have we seen Origin players, and every time they play after a long break, we always say, "Oh, but he's been out for a while. He's done his ACL. He's done this." This guy's been out for 2 years. 2 years. Didn't know he was going to play again. Literally in 20 minutes said, "I shouldn't even be on this field right now. I'm an Origin player." That's how good he is. I can't express how hard it is to do that shit.
And it's been obviously been a while between drinks watching him, but that play before he scored and he threw that nice little tip, I don't remember knowing him for that stuff. So I don't know if he's gone away while he hasn't been able to play and he's really worked on that. But that was like quite exciting.
Well, he had it a little bit at the Broncos, but because Paddy took care of that mostly, and also Flegler's job was just like, mate, we need you to be the maniac that just fucking shoots up our line and also offload a little bit with the late footwork. Yeah, I just, you know, obviously unless you've played in it, I don't think you'll know, but I just can't express how hard it is to come back and just be like, boom. First run of the game, already best player on the field. Like, it's fucking insane, bro. It's actually insane. So stoked for him. And also, just what a bloke. Like, the first thing he says is like, usually, and rightly so, you know, family or club or whatever. He goes, firstly, I want to thank the Redcliffe Dolphins. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. The Dolphins. Medical staff. Like, just a champion bloke. Like, so much time the staff in footy clubs don't get enough appreciation for what they do. Just a champion bloke. So, mate, what a performance from him. Holy moly. Outside of that, look, as I said, I think like the one, and they were great in attack last year, so that's not really a problem. But sometimes I feel like, and this is going to sound so counterintuitive, but sometimes I feel like they're too aggressive in defence sometimes. Like they're looking for the hit. And the reason why I say this, like a guy like Morgan Knowles comes across essentially known for his defence in Super League. First of all, proved the difference. He missed 6 tackles last night. And granted, one of them, he fucking got his head completely split open. So maybe he was concussed. I don't know. But like sometimes I just think the Dolphins can get a little bit too caught up in we need to physically, like go back to the Roosters game. Like they got caught up, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. Like I loved it. I love the fact they didn't take a backward steps. And sometimes that's what footy is about, is purely about don't take a backward step. Don't let no one stand over you. But I reckon like if you look at the Penrith Panthers and the Melbourne Storm, their dominance, like they're not really like, okay, Moses Leota can shot, but really they're more about clinical, win the contact, wrestle well, get them to their back. And I think sometimes the Dolphins can get a little bit caught up in trying to shot blokes, and they fall off a tackle, or they'll, you know. So again, I know I'm being super nitpicky, but that's an area that if they're going to be one of the better defensive sides, they're probably going to have to work on. Maybe I'm the only one that sees that, and it's a very nitpicky point. But yeah, that's what I saw last night. Sometimes they are a bit too gung-ho to like try and shot someone.
I reckon you saw that not as much when Flegler was back out there though.
Well, yeah, because he was catching blokes.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like having like, you know, the experience back out there, but I do think that with him, if Gilbert's playing consistently too, like if you got those two together in the rotation, you won't see as much of that, or at least I hope anyway. I really liked the young guy that came on. I think he came on initially, I think at left edge, and then moved into the middle. He was one of the try scorers. Zac Garton. I thought he was awesome. I don't know where he would sit in terms of in the context of
maybe so far. Maybe, like their pack is so much depth. It's actually insane.
They said he was an under-19s rep player and played schoolboys or whatever, but he looks so good.
What was it? So what did you say?
Zac Garton.
You know what? He might have been the rookie that I was. Might be a tall edge back rower. Let me have
Mullet. Yeah, I think he came on initially.
Did they say he was a captain of the under-19s? Because there was a.
He might have been, but he came on the left edge, scored a mad try, ran that good line, and then he had. Later in the game, he was playing in the middle.
Oh no, so I don't think this is. I think
a few nice like maybe little touches linking up. Like, yeah, he looked awesome.
Maybe, but yeah, I mean the Dolphins, their depth is crazy, absolutely crazy.
The guy you're thinking of, Denon, killed it. That Rasmussen,
that's
he was outstanding.
Yeah,
so he's one that yeah.
So he was their captain. Like he's their captain of all their junior sides, I think, coming through. Rasmussen, I think it's that one.
Well, he was good last night.
Yeah. Guy. Another guy, I thought the number 9, especially in defence, John Ganafo. I'm definitely saying that wrong. But I thought, especially in defence, I thought he was great. It's just some of the shots through the middle. He reminded me a lot of Isaac Luke. Just like that stocky, powerful number 9. So that's great in regards to depth. So look, overall, I think both teams should be really happy with how they played. You know, like for the Titans to complete at 86%, we're talking about the Titans here. We're not talking about the Penrith Panthers. We're talking about the Titans in a trial match. It's like freaking outstanding for them. There was one period for the first 20 minutes or whatever, they were sitting at like 96%, I think. And with the Dolphins, like, I'm happy with that trial too. I thought they both showed really good signs. Relatively, they didn't look too clunky for a trial. As I said, if I was a fan of either of the sides, I would. The
Titans had me longing for more. Like all I could think was, I can't wait till Campbell, Kinney, and Brimson get dropped into this team.
Yes,
they're a big watch. The Titans.
Yep.
I also loved both teams' jerseys, especially the Titans.
The only thing, get that big middle fucking.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
If they could just somehow change the color, I don't mind the actual image, I guess. Just change the color tone of it. It's so colorful.
Isn't it the
lottery,
the sponsor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's just like this big red and
It's like so obnoxiously in this beautiful jersey.
Big day, yeah.
But I loved the jersey, the Titans jersey. I thought it was sick.
Geez, Cobbo looks fit. Holy heck.
Yeah, he looks good.
My God. Didn't get much ball, but, mate, when he did, he was a freaking rugby league handful.
Whenever I hear people, like, because you hear always a couple every preseason, this guy's lost 10 kilos, and then it's kind of like nothing. But then you looked at him, he was like, holy shit.
Yeah, when he ran out, it looked like GI to me, to be honest. Like, just that big, rangy figure. And geez, he was strong in contact. So, yeah, I really do think both teams should be happy with that. The result is irrelevant. It's like what style of footy they play, how do they play together. So, yeah, I think both teams should be happy. Don't forget, guys, Revolut. Thanks to Revolut, you can sign up to Revolut via the link in the show notes for your chance to win an experience at the Melbourne 2026 Race for Two, plus score a $40 welcome bonus when you use your card. Terms and conditions apply. Please refer to the show notes. Guys, Matty has used it for years.
Yep.
Good stuff. And also, Aspley Mazda, huge sale this week, the AM sale. Basically, what it is I'll get up here. Apologies. I've already spoken about it on the last snippet we released. But it is. So it's one day, once a year, guys. And it's free rego and CTP plus $500 fuel voucher, 1 year free scheduled servicing, plus $500 free accessories. Crazy sale. New and used cars down at Aspley Mazda. Give Lukey a message for a special deal, LDC_01. A massive thank you as always to Aspley Mazda for supporting the show. Okay. Payne Haas. Look, we've all the quote we've read. Everyone's read the quote, basically saying that it wasn't the money. I feel like the whole low ball story. I feel like, and maybe I know people are going to say I'm biased because it's the Broncos and I don't want to believe it, but I feel like this is why people have an issue with the media sometimes. Does anyone truly believe that fucking Payne Haas got lowballed?
Even my fiance was like, she came to me, she said, surely the Broncos didn't actually lowball him.
What are we talking?
Yeah, of course not.
And so, what a nonsense story.
Who's running that?
I just cannot believe it. Payne Haas, the greatest forward ever. The thing that people don't understand is this: there are a couple of players in your squad that will never get lowballed.
Yeah,
they'll never get lowballed because it's all relative. There's no club that can offer them so much. Maybe you could say the Perth or PNG, but they're not going to do that because that'll break their salary cap.
Yeah.
Just a nonsense story. It's
pretty funny though, reading, you read that and then the next day it's you read something about how his team have gone to South and all you have to do is match the offer. It's well, one of you has to be full of shit.
Yeah, it's just nonsense.
The thing I don't understand, I think I asked you, I can't remember what you said, but who's to gain from that story?
That's what I don't get. Yeah, I don't it's just the only thing when I see a story like that, it feels like it's just there's a huge storyline going on. I'll throw something out that doesn't hurt anyone, but it gets us heaps of clicks, and I get a win as my job. Nonsense story, absolutely nonsense story. Payne Haas got lowballed by the Broncos. Oh my god!
Even just to walk out, what do they get out of that?
I don't.
You've already been threatened by. You had all the chat around R360, and there's no way if that had eventuated, you couldn't match them anyway. You think the Broncos have gone away after he's just delivered a premiership and gone, let's try to save $100,000 on this guy. It is so stupid.
It's so Adam Reynolds retiring. Ben Hunt probably won't be at the club after next year.
So they got cash.
It is just so okay. Let's go and lowball the guy that could make a single phone call to every club in the comp, every single one.
Yeah.
Penrith, Storm, anyone, and say, give me $1 million, I'll be there tomorrow, everyone would say yes. They'd move on anyone to get him there. And yeah, the Broncos lowballed him. Yeah, okay. The club with the most third parties, the most fucking money, like fucking the club that's been fighting tooth and nail to keep this bloke for the last 5 years is just lowballing the bloke. Like, fuck, Jesus, what a just ridiculous. Anyway, some were saying he's off Madge. Now, Payne Haas has come out and refuted that. He just said it was about family. So he has said, has he come out in public said it? Look, it's just been reported. He wants to be called Hakeem Haas.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he hasn't legally changed his name.
It's his Instagram name now.
Yeah, he hasn't legally changed his name, but just for listeners. So, in the Islamic faith, it is, tradition might be the wrong word, but when you convert to Islam, some people change their name because in Islamic culture, they put a lot of emphasis on name means something. So it has to, like, your name, it must mean like honor or integrity or whatever. And that actually has a tangible meaning in life. And so the reason why sometimes people do it after they convert, it's almost like a fresh start. And to get to almost like, you know, it's like almost like being reborn to a degree. It's probably the wrong word with religion and everything like that. And I know this is a sensitive topic, guys, so just it's coming from a good place. And so, for example, and I don't know if Payne was named this like intentionally, but Payne actually means non-Catholic or pagan in like Latin or whatever many years ago. Now I don't know if he was named specifically that for that reason, but that's what it translates to back in the day. And so sometimes in the Islamic faith, if you have a name that is connected to either paganism or something like that, it will be changed because of that. Now I'm not saying he changed it because of that. I'm just saying the reasons are, you know, that those are the reasons why you might change it. It also is a way to, what's the word, like to express to other people of the faith, like if your name is Hakeem, you're pretty confident if you're a fellow Muslim that he is also a Muslim. And so I think that the timing of the name change, I actually think it has a lot to do with what he's saying about fresh starts, being reborn, starting again. We also know, obviously, down in Sydney, you know, it's a far bigger Muslim population. And so, you know, he talks about his kids and his family. Like, he probably wants to raise his kids up in a Muslim population, like I'd assume anyway, you know. Funnily enough, it's funny when when you're, even like my wife, I remember we were talking about like getting a babysitter or whatever, or just at the daycare. And my wife was like, "Oh, I want our son to have a Filipino babysitter." And it's just about comfort. And obviously I put shit on her. Obviously I said, no, it's got to be Aussie no matter what. But it's just a natural comfort for human beings to want to be around people that are similar to them, like that, regardless of whether it's Islam, Christian, whatever. And so I think I do. And the reason why, what locked it all up for me is it's not like Payne Haas hasn't tried to leave the Broncos before. So Kevy Walters on his podcast basically confirmed that he asked to leave a few years ago and Kevy convinced him to stay. So all of it does kind of add up. He changed his name. He talks about family, the family most important. All it does add up for me that he does truly want almost like a rebirth, a restart in his life. Like, it makes sense.
Just for further clarity as well, and pretty much everything you said, but he has not legally changed his name, which is Payne Lucky Haas, but he's changed it to Hakeem on social media accounts, and he's acknowledged as Hakeem when he partakes in Islamic events and mixes with members of the Muslim community.
And Hakeem means to aspire to be wise and learned. So, yeah, it all kind of adds up. It all adds up. That's what I tend to believe that he wanted a fresh start.
I actually think it would have been quite hard for him to leave too. Like, I think even with all that, and that all makes sense. Like, the yarns about, people start talking about falling out with Madge or what was happening, and for it to have happened so quick. And I just think, if his family's based in Sydney and, he wants to maybe settle there, it does make a lot of sense. I don't think there always has to be some big.
But he's asked to leave before. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So he obviously, whether he missed, coming down here or whatever, or whether that's what he wanted to do initially with his partner, like, I don't know. But that, just to your point, that shows that he had an intention to leave.
It was going to happen. We've been fighting to keep this bloke every year. the last 5 years.
Yeah, remember he got booed a couple of years ago?
So, I think that he won the premiership. He did he's had this vision in his head since winning the spoon or whatever. He got that out of the way. Name change, like everything adds up to a man wanting almost a reset / fresh start. And also, like, maybe I'm being too naive here, but honestly, I've got so much respect for Payne as a bloke. I don't think he'd get up and lie about the reason why he left. Like, no. I don't think, if he did have an issue with Madge, I don't think he would go, we're sweet. I think he's a strong enough, like, this is the same guy on record said, I didn't sign for the Rabbitohs because Sam Burgess didn't rock up when he was 18. You reckon he doesn't have the guts to not lie about having an issue with Madge? You know what I mean? Like, that's not who we're working with there. We're working with a guy that will, like, there's a lot of young footballers that would never say that about Sam Burgess. Like, fuck, like, there's no way they would say that publicly. No. They'd keep it private, off the record or whatever. And so I reckon, like, look, do I reckon Payne Haas would come out and say, I've got an issue with Madge? No. But I do think that if he did have an issue, there's no way he would sit there and say, I don't have an issue.
He wouldn't actually lie.
He just wouldn't say anything.
And I think, if you follow the timeline, I reckon what Kevy's talking about when he asked to leave might have been pre-grand final, and then had the turnaround that they had in that time. He's probably thought, fuck, we're close here and we can actually do this. And now that he's done it, like, makes sense. Exactly what you said. He wants to set up his life down here, whether it be because of faith or
I can't expect enough, like, for the wider audience that may not have interacted with, you know, the Islamic faith or whatever much. Like, it's not just like a, and it's similar with Christianity as well. Like, it's, for me personally, who's not religious, like, it's very hard to kind of relate how important that is to someone, because I don't believe in it. I just don't believe in it. Christian, Jewish, Muslim, whatever. Yeah. Buddhism, I just don't believe it. But I can't stress enough that it means more than anything to a person that is very faithful, whether it's Christianity or Islam. Like, it's above footy. To some, it's even above family. And so the idea that he would come down for that reason, like, it's not out of this. It's a very reasonable thing for someone of his belief and devotion to do, in my opinion.
Well, a very surface level example is the fasting. Yeah, like, if he put footy over everything else, then he'd be drinking water during games, for example.
Crazy. Like, the mental toughness to do that. Oh my God, bro. My God. So yeah, look, I tend to believe it. Like, I think the clincher for me is the fact he's already asked to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this, because, like, I guess when I was initially hearing the reports, I was like, what's changed? Like, that's what I kept asking. Like, what's happened for this to be so? But then I'm like, well, nothing's really changed. He's already asked to leave before.
Yeah, like, if this was Carrigan, you'd be like shocked. You'd be like, what the absolute hell is going on here?
He's never shown any indication that he wanted to leave. Like, by all reports, Payne was gone to 360.
Yeah.
You know, by all reports, he was gone, and understandably so. There was even a journalist, apologies, I'm forgetting who said it, that he was going to go live in Dubai, which is with his family.
Yeah.
So what I will say is, if I was a betting man, I reckon there is a Rugby 360, not in the contract, because if that came across Abdo's fucking table, if Rugby 360 comes in and out of here, he wouldn't approve it, obviously. But I reckon he trusts Wayne enough where Wayne's gone, listen, mate, you've got my word. Yep. We'll sort you. Don't worry about it. And so that's another reason for the trust between him and Wayne.
A few reports, I don't know how confirmed they are, but there's a few reports that there's a get-out clause related to Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
Which I think could just be code for 360 because you can't say it. But
it lines up as well. It lines up with the
Wayne,
2028
Wayne's
posting.
contract ends in 27 as it stands, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that could be something to watch. But I'm pretty excited to see them work together. What I couldn't understand, a lot of people talking about how close him and Wayne are.
Yeah.
Did the timeline...
he's coached Wayne. Debuted. Signed him 5 years when he was younger.
At what year are we talking? Like,
18.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Wayne, then he came down in... Yeah.
Wayne does that a lot with, like, some of his better players, which is weird. Why did he do it with me? That's just weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
The last thing Wayne said to me, I saw him at Alex Glenn's birthday party, 2018, 17. And he was like, you're right for a soccer player. I was like, I don't know if that's a compliment or a disrespect. You disrespect me? And I staunched him. Do you want to fucking have a dig?
He's big. He walked past me yesterday.
Yeah, but cafe in Maroubra. How hard are they for, mate?
He walked past me. He's fucking massive.
He's bigger than you think.
Holy shit.
I remember the first time I saw him, I was pretty shocked.
So he played a couple years under him, did he?
Wayne's the one that got him to the club. So what happened was obviously the Burgess situation happened. I feel bad for Burgess because he's like, man, fuck. Like,
yeah, it's tough.
But if it's the truth, it's the truth. I respect it. So, but then he was going to sign with Melbourne Storm.
Right.
And he was on the way to the airport to sign the contract, and Wayne called him and said, just come into my office, just have a yarn to me, and that's what changed everything.
Mate, this bloke.
Oh, fuck. Jesus.
Do you like...
Well,
you would have seen it firsthand.
The opposite version. It's like, sign for less and I'll take care of you. And then he left. I mean, he did say, like, to be fair in Wayne's defense. So when I re-signed, I didn't know this at the time. So when I debuted, I had the most meters of a debutant ever in rugby league, or at least in the modern era or whatever. It's like 270 or whatever. And then I played...
whatever.
It was more than that, but I rounded it down, because I scored a 75-meter try, but it's no big deal. Whatever. You can go check it out if you want. And then I kept playing, I think, 3 more games that year, so 4 all up. And like nowadays, if that happens, like, the hype happens, the contract negotiate wars happen. And Wayne, he convinced me like, mate, don't have any money in the cap, so, we'll just put you on minimum again. So I was on 50K with Matchies. And the year I debuted, I was on 30K. And then what happened he left that next year. So I'd signed this 1-year deal after doing what I did. Only a 1-year deal, 50K Matchies. Imagine today if that happened. You'd be getting fucking a 3 or 4 year deal. I debuted at fullback. So it's not even on the wing.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
And then obviously that contract wasn't fucking there. But he did ask me, he sat me down maybe before or after game. I think it was down in Wollongong, maybe. And I'd already verbally through my manager. So I hadn't said it to the Warriors. I just verbally said, oh, yeah, sweet, I'll do it. And then that same week, Wayne was like, listen, I don't know what's going on with the Warriors or something like that, but I want you to come to the Dragons with me. I was like, fuck. I was like, oh, man, I've already verbally agreed, so I had to brush it. Think about how much different my life would be.
So you brushed Wayne Bennett.
Well, that's why he doesn't answer my calls. Because I'd already given my word. Like, I'd already...
Yeah.
But, because it would have been me and Darbs that would have gone down with him. Darius. I call him Darbs. Used to live with him. Yeah, so he's good. He's good.
What happened? What happened?
Oh, that's another thing.
It's another thing he did,
sorry. And then the year before that... the year that he signed me on 50K after I had my debut, he said, sign for less... but I promise the next year you'll start on the wing. And so I was like, okay, so I signed for less. I signed for way less than I was supposed to sign for, as a debutant coming through, fullback, everything. And then the year started, the next year I didn't start on the wing.
Oh, my God.
I went into his office and I was like, I got to be honest, I'm pretty proud of myself at such a young age that I fucking had the guts to do it. But I was like, mate, you promised me that I would start the season if I signed for less. And he was like, oh, did I? Sorry, mate. It's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, that's all good.
Funnily enough, I ended up having, that was a 2008 year that I ended up having. So part of me thinks like, was it a kick up the bum? I'm not sure. So there's that.
All I got from that was you kept your word and therefore did not win a premiership with Wayne Bennett, Jamie Soward and Darius Boyd.
And derailed the career, to be honest.
Far out. Sliding doors.
Well, funnily enough, even after that, I got offered way more money from other clubs. Like I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars more. I just said no.
Because you'd agreed to the wires.
Verbally agreed through my manager. That all worked out really well. Warriors were stoked. They're like, yeah, we got this fucking gun for unders, and they were like, all the Warriors fans like stoked, like NRL leading try scorers at the Broncos, doing all this crazy shit. Got there, fucking terrible. I wasn't actually that bad. I just didn't play that. I mean, to be honest, they played fucking terrible the whole year, the whole team. But that was good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, other story. This one is crazy. So just dropped Zac Lomax. This one's a big one.
I've got the quote if you need it.
I'll read it here. Okay, so basically, the report is leaked Zac Lomax court documents. This is on Code Sports. Go to codesports.com.au, guys, to sign up. Best in the biz. Leaked court documents show Storm asked for intervention from the NRL. You go down to the article. Attempts to broker peace between the clubs have failed to provide a resolution. And the Eels claim in the documents that Melbourne chief executive the CEO, became so frustrated with the slow progress of negotiations that he sent a message to the NRL CEO, Abdo, on Jan 21, urging head office to put pressure on the Eels. And you might think, oh, that's a bit of a, maybe it's just a vague kind of thing. This is what the alleged quote says on Code Sports. So I'm just reading what they have said.
This is from the email.
Quote, this is from the CEO of the Storm, allegedly.
Wow.
Hi, Andrew. Not getting anywhere at this point. Can you apply the blowtorch on Parramatta to get this done?
No way.
Unbelievable.
Blowtorch.
Now, I've been in a lot of comment section arguing with Storm fans. Basically, the Storm fans, not all of them, most of them have been understanding the situation, or at least understanding in my opinion. But some Storm fans try to tell me that the Storm haven't been putting pressure for this to happen. Like the Storm are innocent bystanders in this. Okay. And then basically asked on Friday about the text exchange with Abdo, the CEO said, it was not in the interest of any party for this to go to head to court. My only hope was for someone to step in and provide a resolution to the matter. Also, it's been reported this week that, so you just read that quote about them asking the NRL to put the blowtorch on the Eels to get this done. It has been reported via court documents, this is allegedly, I guess, that the Storm agreed to pay Zac Lomax's lawyer fees if he loses.
I saw this. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Like already, like there's going to be more if this keeps going. There's going to be more, but that is just such a, as a starting point, you're just like,
basically what you're saying is you take what we offer, or we will apply so much pressure, we'll get him anyway. That's what you're saying with that.
Yeah, and like it's also like sort of like Dobber vibes as well. I just running straight to the NRL, just you know what I mean, like blowtorch.
I am shocked beyond belief. Like, listen, I know it's a ruthless game. I get it, but I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this.
I just don't understand the lack of awareness given who we're talking about. Like, surely they would have done their due diligence and been like, we can't actually do anything here based on the agreement that he had signed. Like, what did you think the NRL was going to be able to do?
Just the fact that he was comfortable enough to even send that text message. That's outrageous.
In court.
Like, this is what did we say a few weeks ago? I said, this is what's going to happen. Stuff's going to start leaking out of that court case, and people are not going to look good. I just, I said it last week. I guess I'll say it again. The Storm put themselves in a position now, even though they're not going to be shit if they look like hypocrites. They're just like, we're in the premiership business. We don't care about how we look to other fans. But they can never not release another player again.
It's like the worst deal ever too, though, to go through all this, drag the club through this whole process, and then have to just foot the bill at the end as well.
But any player, any player that ever wants to release from that club, they need to be given it immediately.
Yeah, I've heard of multiple players too where it took so long to get released.
Had to stay a whole year.
Yeah, and that was that's like the most sort of clean one. Like there's been others that are awful, of course. And like
it happens all the time.
That's
the thing. Again, that's what's so mind blowing is, like players get frustrated or whatever, and go to club and say, "Can we agree to a release together?" And clubs all the time say, "No, you cannot get a release. No, we aren't. We need to get an equal player for you, whatever." We just never hear about it. It doesn't hit the news.
Yeah.
Matty, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's also going to set a precedence that a CEO can just text Abdo now. That's mind blowing.
Apply the blowtorch. The implications of that are I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this.
I'm interested in the response too. Like, what was
you just sent a few emojis.
No, bro.
Tongue out.
Red cross, tongue out. Sorry, bro, I can't.
Because they have been quiet since that leak thing, because there was never any quotes, was there? It was like, V'landys might step in, but there's been nothing really since then.
No, they backed right off.
Of course they did.
After all that started. But yeah, it was just a couple of tongue out.
You boys are crazy down there. No. Let me speak to Petey.
He sent a selfie.
Can't do it. At lunch. Talk later.
No, he wrote back, trade back your 2009 premiership to the Eels.
That would be awesome. Just a bunch of selfies, just going through Andrew Abdo selfies from the court. And
it's got could you imagine, because it's subpoenaed, so you get all these other text messages, and it's like them taking selfies of Like the Tigers getting pumped 30-0 going, look at these.
Yeah, just lol.
Like selfish, like 60-0 against the Cowboys or whatever.
Lol.
Oh, far out.
They're supposed to go to court 3 days before they play each other. So that's when
tell you
Parra's
what.
going to face Lomax in court.
I truly reckon the Storm never thought they'd go through with it. Because if the Storm knew that this all stuff was going to get subpoenaed and leaked, there's no way. There's no way.
Of course, yeah.
There's no way. But the problem for the Storm is that it's the Eels that asked the injunction. So they are in control of pushing this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's not like the Storm took them to court.
No.
It's the Eels going, okay, you want to play chicken with us? We'll see how far. And they went all the way, and Storm went, oh, fuck. This is not looking good.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Can't wait for round one, but it's going to be so
Oh,
good.
it's the drama. It's great. From pure, cynical, watch the world burn stuff.
Yeah.
Mate, great stuff.
WWE, get the coaches punching on or something. Responsibly.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll always be a fan of Melbourne. I am a fan of Melbourne. I think what they achieved is incredible. I just think they've really messed up here. I think they're better than this. I really do. Maybe that's me being silly and naive. And look, if I found out my club was doing this, I promise you guys, I would say exactly the same thing. It's what it is. Oh, just quickly in regards to the Payne Haas thing, waiving their right for a counter offer. I thought that was a smart thing from the Broncos. Matty head nearly fell off when I said it. I don't want Payne Haas to backflip. I said this a couple of days ago now.
Yeah, I'm still... if that was me, I'd want him to stay.
Yeah,
but
that's fair. But mate, he's gotten so far down the line. He signed the contract.
yeah.
There are other fans involved in this. Rabbitohs fans are all hyped that you're arriving. You gave your word. Not only gave your word, you signed a contract. I know legally he's within his rights, but I'm just it is what it is. A decision's been made. I wouldn't have wanted to backflip anyway, and I think the Broncos did the right thing from a brand perspective. The last thing you want to do is go, oh, please stay. Here's a fucking 10-year deal, and he goes, nah.
Also, if it's about family,
You never win in that battle.
You're wasting your time anyway.
You never win in that battle. All you're doing is making yourself look weak. And so, to be honest, I wouldn't have wanted him to backflip. I really wouldn't have. I know that people won't believe me, but I said it friggin' 3 days ago with no one listening, so it's not like I'm fucking trying.
yeah, no, I can verify that, and I can also verify. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. How long did it take him to do that? Probably 3 days. They probably explored, probably wanted to get further reasoning from him and understand it a bit more. And I would guess that by the time they've done that, they're going, well, fuck, put everyone out of their misery. We don't want people speculating for another 7 days. Let's just call it now.
And also to your fans, you've got to show some kind of air of we're going to be fine. We're going to be okay. Granted, behind the scenes, you're going, what the fuck just happened?
It's a strong move waiving the 10
Yeah, it's saying to them, guys, yep, definitely Devo, we're losing him. But we are the Brisbane Broncos. We are Queenslanders. We are Queenslanders.
Yeah.
We are Queenslanders. Okay, I think that...
All-Stars game on
the All-Star games. Apologies, got to be... Sorry, we're just running out of time. Fuck, should have spoken on it straight away. Okay, All-Stars game. Kinney. That's my number one watch here is Kinney. I cannot wait to see him get out there and absolutely rip. Who's your watch for the All-Star game this week?
I'm just keen to see Nico Hines, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, just, local hot boy surfer. See myself in him a little bit, so as a 7. But I just think,
I thought you were 13.
at a pinch. Depends. Whatever you need. But yeah, I'm keen to see him run around. I think there's going to be a lot more pressure on him this year, which is ridiculous based on the fact that there's always pressure on him. But I think they're going to go even closer this year. So I'm keen to see him sort of turn out first look with some other quality players.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Matty? Who's your...
This is going to be probably shock some people, but I reckon Calm Pereira. Because I don't know, maybe the move to the Warriors this year's going to be good for him. I don't know if he'll even start round 1, but I don't know. I'm excited to see him in a new club. So I'm excited to see what his kind of attitude's like with his fresh start. And this is one of those games where he could score a hat-trick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, the South boys, I'm keen to see Talis Duncan and
what about
Jackie White.
What about Jaden Campbell's on the bench and Trey Fuller's starting fullback for the Indigenous?
Jeez.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Jackie White in the centres. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Fox on the wing. Always love Bella Fox. Can't wait. All right, boys. Who are we tipping to get the job done? I'm going to go Indigenous to get the win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Indigenous get it done. I'm really keen to see Talis, actually, now that you say that.
Talis Duncan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, They got Josh Kerr in the middle. Like sometimes their middles they struggle a little bit. Indigenous, not this. They got Kerr. They got Shaq Mitchell, Patson, Puru, Duncan. I just think their spine of Trindle, Hines, Trey Fuller, and Connor Watson. I just think that's probably going to be a bit stronger than Zach Docker, Clay, Tamate Martin, Nickel Clockstad, Kinney.
I hope Indigenous win, but I think the Maori forward pack's too good.
Just quickly, the Indigenous jerseys are so hot, it's actually ridiculous.
They just get better every year too.
Right,
eh?
they're the best. They're the best Indigenous jerseys I've ever seen in my life. They are so friggin' cool. So friggin' cool. Alrighty, that is us done and dusted, guys. Give Tommy Bomb a follow. Tom Yeager, give him a follow. As usual, we'll go fuck ourselves. Thank you.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.